Hey, what is up, my Jules? You're here with Amanda. If my hair looks kind of crazy, it's because it is still wet. I had it in a braid, but I didn't look presentable if I left it in the braid, so I did just take it out. But anyways, you guys can tell by the title, today's video is going to be all about my air stone and adding an air stone into my tank. As you can see, I do not have the air stone yet in my tank, and that's because I haven't gone to Petco to pick up the stuff for the air stone as well as the air stone itself. So yeah. However, in this video, you guys are going to be seeing me haul the products and show you guys what they are, putting together my air stone with the air pump and the tubing and all of that kind of stuff, and then just a quick little montage of what it looks like in my tank, because I do try to add montages to the end of almost every video. That way you guys can see what my tank looks like, the progress of it, and just like how it looks all together with the things that I bought and different things like that. So right now it is 4:30. My mom should be here in about 15 minutes to take me to Petco real quick to go pick up my stuff, and then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. But before I leave to go do that, I wanted to just explain to you why I personally wanted an air stone in my tank and the stuff that I did buy before I show it to you guys. That way you can like understand, I guess, how it works. So I'm not personally like 100% educated on air stones, but I do know the basics and like why I personally want to add it into my tank. So the flow of my water on the surface is not as much as I would like it to be. I feel like my filter doesn't necessarily move around the water enough. So because of that, I do want to get an air stone to allow more gas exchange at the top. That way the water is like flowing and moving, and then it also adds dissolved oxygen into the tank, or it was something like that. It adds more oxygen into the tank for your fish, because aquariums with closed lid tops tend to have less or a lower oxygen level. It's not by a lot, but they do tend to have lower oxygen levels from what I know, from what I've read. So that's another reason why I want to put an air stone in my tank. Lastly, it just looks pretty. It's a nice addition depending on which kind you get. Well, they're all pretty because they all make bubbles, but I personally like the ones that create a bubble wall, so that is the one that I personally bought. Hey guys, so I'm back and I went to Petco to pick up my stuff, so it is in this bag. I'm gonna go ahead and like take it out before I show you guys, that way it's not like so loud. So to start with, the first and most obvious thing that you're gonna need, or that I had to get, was the actual air pump itself. So this one is the Tetra Whisper air pump. It is for a 10-gallon tank. From what I've heard, it's super quiet. I know it has like padded like tips at the end, like where it stands on the table to minimize the noise and stuff like that, from what I've heard, which is super good. It says the shape of silence. So I got this one. How much was it? Where's my receipt? This alone was $6.65, so that wasn't too out of a price. Actually, it was pretty good. So I got that. And the next thing that I got is the Airline Tubing. So once again, it's by the brand Aquarium. So I believe this was $3 if I'm not mistaken. Just kidding, it was $5 or $4.50. So it looks like this. It's super small, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna fit anyway, because why would they sell it if it didn't fit? So I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. So the air pump, like I mentioned, comes with the control, but it does not come with the check valve, which is the next thing that I bought, also by Aquarium. This was also fairly cheap. It was $1.79, so that's good. This once again prevents back siphoning, just in case something went wrong with like the power. Then the last thing I got was the actual bubbling air stone. So it's 6 inches long, and this one is the one that's supposedly like this, and it creates a bubble wall type effect. So I think it's cool because on the back of this it says think tank, and it says, did you know that increasing oxygen levels in your aquarium helps prevent harmful gases like carbon dioxide, bacteria blooms, and chemical buildup from amazing, which I thought was pretty cool. So yes. So unfortunately, I do have to leave soon from when I'm filming this clip, so I won't be able to set up my air pump like right now. You guys are gonna see it after I'm done with this clip, but in real time. I'm not gonna be able to set it up right now. So yeah, I'm gonna be in different clothes or whatever when I'm setting it up. But that was the haul, and that's what I got. So now to watch me actually set this thing up. It's the next morning. I am back, so let's go ahead and build this thing. The only reason I'm starting super early, it's not even that early, literally it's 10:19, is because my air stone actually says that it has to soak for an hour before I'm able to turn it on. So we're gonna go ahead and start right now and get this going. But once again, before you like do anything, make sure to rinse off the tubing. So I'm gonna go rinse it off, and then I will do that. Okay, so now that we got the tubing completely rinsed, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there. That way it's not like on the floor or anything. In the meantime, let's go ahead and open my air pump, because I have yet to open it. Okay, yeah. So in here it comes with the control valve, if that's what it's even called. But with the little knob, you just kind of twist it and then it will control the airflow. So that came in here, which is nice. And then there is the actual air pump itself with some instructions. So this is what the air pump looks like outside of the package. I love that it's kind of small and compact because this will definitely fit on that desk. And then it has the little connector right here that goes onto the pipe. So you're gonna take the first end of your tubing. My tubing is like 8 feet long or something like that. But you're gonna take the first end of your tubing, whether it be this one or the other end. Anyway, it's kind of like foggy in there. And you're gonna attach it to this end of the air pump as best you can. So mine hopefully will kind of go on like easily. So you can just like wiggle it and then it goes on. So, oh, perfect, that was easy. So then once you do that, what you're gonna want to do now is take your scissors, because we're gonna attach the air control valve, if you can even see that in there. So from what I've seen on YouTube, it doesn't matter exactly where you put the air control valve as long as it's before the check valve if you have one, which I do, so let's put it right there. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut the tubing right here, because the girl's video that I watched cut it close to the air pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. So then you're gonna take the air control valve and we're gonna go ahead and attach this right here. And then you're just gonna take the other end of your tubing and attach it to the other side. Okay, so there is the air control valve. So now we're gonna go ahead and make another incision. I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera this way so you guys can see, because we're gonna go ahead and cut it again and then add the check valve in. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it like right here. Okay, so now that we have the check valve out, if you can see this, since this is by Mandatory, it says like in and out on the actual check valve. So with that being said, we're gonna plug in this side that says in to the tubing that's facing the pump, and then the other side is going to be facing away because that's where the air comes out. So now once again, bring the rest of your tubing back and go ahead and attach it to the other side of the check valve. Okay, so now that we have all this installed, I'm going to go ahead and place it in the back of my aquarium, and then I will be back to attach the air stone. So I have now placed the air pump in the back of my aquarium. So I have the tubing wrapping around the table right now, but I'm gonna line the tubing to where I'm gonna want it in my aquarium. That way I can go ahead and cut it and I don't have like excess tubing. I'm not sure if we're allowed to do that, but I'm going to, because I don't want to just have a super long piece of tubing that the air has to flow through. So what I'm going to do on the back of the aquarium is line the tubing against it so I can see how high I need it, and then allow the excess to go ahead and fall over the side so I can see where to cut it. That way it reaches my gravel, but I'm not going to cut it exactly there. I'm going to add some, that way I have some wiggle room. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it right there, and then I have all this tubing left over. So now I'm going to go ahead and open my air stone. Once again, it's one of the ones that makes like a bubble wall. So if I put it against the side of my aquarium here, it should fit perfectly in that little back corner. So that's good. However, I would have to move my moss ball over and some of the plants. So now I have the air stone open and out of my packaging. So real quick, let's read the directions down here. It says position in the chosen area of your aquarium and bury the bottom 1/3 of the air stone with substrate. Attach the air stone to your pump and airline tubing and check valve sold separately. Before operating, let air stone soak in water for at least an hour. So I'm not going to position it before I add the tubing. I'm going to add the tubing first. So go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to once again like kind of wiggle it on like we've been doing with everything else. So now that we have the tubing attached to the air stone, what I'm going to go ahead and do real quick off camera is move around some of the plants in my tank. That way this fits perfectly and snugly in the back of the aquarium. Okay, so it's gonna be kind of hard to see because there's no LED on in the actual tank, but what I did do is I moved those two plants further up, and I moved my moss ball out of the way. Just for now, I'm gonna go ahead and put the air stone in, and then I will probably adjust the placement of those plants. That way they're not just like thrown there. Okay, so I'm back. I finally got the air stone in there. At first it didn't want to stay at the bottom, like it kept turning, and I was like, no, like you need to be straight, you need to be straight. So I finally got it, and it was funny because the first time I got it to actually stay in place, and then when I closed the lid, it was too far up, and then it like shifted. So I had to go back, move it further back, and then I, for the most part, got it to stay. So when I put it in, I went ahead and moved the purple plant further back because it was a little far up, and I moved my Marimo moss ball kind of to the side. So guys, what the heck? So I will go ahead and show you guys what it looks like right now, and then I won't come back till an hour has passed. Like, there's Pedro. Hi, Pedro. Hi, Pedro. Okay, anyway, so the air stone is back here. As you guys can see, it's not straight, it's very crooked, so that's kind of sad. But I was just giving up on placing it because it was kind of getting on my nerves. But it's back here. I'm sure either way it's gonna look perfectly fine. I might straighten it out because my OCD might get the best of me. So, what's up guys? It's been an hour. It is now 12:06, and the last time I looked at the clock it was 11 o'clock. So we are now gonna turn on this air stone and see what it looks like. Hopefully it looks really nice. Excuse me. I did fix it. I straightened it out so it's kind of straight along the bottom. It did stay, which is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, and we're gonna turn it on and see what happens. Alrighty guys, so, well, let me close this maybe. Okay. Alright guys, so my air stone is now up and running. As you guys can see, it's up in the back. About 1/3 of the actual air stone, it's 6 inches, so about like 2 inches or so isn't necessarily giving out bubbles, but I think that's because it just kind of needs time. Because from what I've read, most people said that in the beginning it was super good, but it got better with time and more bubbles were like pushed out from the air stone. That's all for this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe down below to not miss a video about my fish tank or just any videos that I put out anyway. Make sure to go ahead and comment down below what you guys think of my tank and how it's coming along. Yeah, so make sure to stick around to the end also because I will have a montage of the air stone and the rest of the fish in my tank. But yeah, so all my social medias are down below. Make sure to go add me on all of those because I do post about them a lot. And if you want to just stay caught up with my life, then go ahead and follow me on there. But that's all for this video. I love you guys all, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.